These are the moves that you want to be able to do but probably can't do, and once you learn them, they will dramatically change your life. My name is Weiland, co-founder of Pacific Rim Athletics, creator of Powerbatics, and welcome to training. And I've helped over 5,000 people build total body mastery with everything like handstands to handsprings to human flags and everything in between, for kids, teens, all the way up to adults in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. So let's get into training. Now, the first thing that we want to be able to do is we want to have good upper body strength. And that is often measured by being able to do a push-up all the way up to handstand push-ups. And people want to be able to do that. Maybe you're in the boat where you can't do your first push-up yet. Or maybe you're trying to get to a handstand push-up. So we've got beginners all the way to advanced. Now, people think that they don't have enough upper body strength, that it's all about the upper body strength. And there is some truth to that, but it's only half the truth, okay? So for a push-up, we're looking at something like this, handstand push-up, something like that. And again, everything in between. Now, when we get into this, it's not just about upper body strength, okay? It's about the holistic nature of your training. So oftentimes people will get down to do a push-up like I just showed, and their back is sagging or their weird position. There's little details that people overlook. Oftentimes people will go down into a push-up position and their ankles will be apart, or they'll have their hands very narrow like this. Like, why would you start with a base that's so narrow? Spread your fingers out and have that balance and control. So there's a lot of little details that add up for people that people don't even realize it. And it's hard to see the progress that was right around the corner, especially whenever there's a bunch of blind spots and obstacles interfering, okay? So there are a lot of little details, but overall, it's about training holistically and thinking about your whole body moving as a unit, not just getting underneath the bar and doing a bench press, getting on the floor and just cranking out push-ups. All of that is very compartmentalized thinking. What I want to challenge you to do is think holistically. And so when we come down to do a push-up, we're thinking about the core being rounded. We're thinking about the hands being spread out so that it's a good foundation. The ankles pinched together, not just feet together, but ankles even pinched together so that the legs are engaged as well. And all these things come into play. Then whenever we get up and we do a handstand push-up, it's the same thing. It's a wide base. It's coming down, control, pressing back up. It's the whole posterior chain activated. Your back, your legs, everything is engaged. If your body is just flopping around on the ground like a fish and you're just emphasizing your upper body, then it's not going to get you anywhere. So we've got a student named Venny. You've probably seen him in some of the other videos. He's in his mid-50s now. He's been through all kinds of surgeries. His story is absolutely incredible. Back in the day, he went through some shoulder surgeries, and 10 weeks later, he was back at a 2-minute long handstand. No, it was a 1-minute long handstand. He had a 2-minute long handstand, and then subsequently, he got back to a really strong handstand and handstand push-ups and all of the rest. And so it's not about any of those roadblocks that might be in your path currently. It's definitely not just about the upper body strength, but it's about training holistically with the entire scope of your life kind of in your vision of where you are and where you want to be. Again, people make the mistake of not training holistically whenever they're trying to get, number one, their first pull-up all the way up to muscle-ups and variations and things along those lines. And they'll sit down and they'll start using equipment. They'll start using bands. They'll sit down on the lat pull-down machine whenever it's not about any of that. It's about treating your whole body as its own machine and then training it how it's supposed to be trained and using it how it's supposed to be used, and not relying on all of these other things. And so whenever we come over, we do a pull-up, you know, just being able to hang on the bar, for some people that might be a challenge. You know, I've heard stories about people tearing their shoulders just by doing a tuck hang like this. So of course, you don't want to mistake videos for instruction. Okay, you want to get yourself in a good community and good coaching, and I can't stress that enough. But whenever you get into your training, you want to be able to do a nice pull-up with the legs straight and feet pointed and good control and be able to hang from a bar. It's just how we're designed. And then to be able to do, your muscle ups and just be able to have fun with your training, because that's ultimately what it's about, is having fun with your training and feeling good and using your body how it's designed to be able to be used, and not limiting it to these confined restraints of equipment and mainstream method and all these things that you get brainwashed in public school about. Oops, did I say that? But again, going back to Benny, he's been through the grinder and he has over 20 muscle ups, and sustainably so, long term. He's now been training with us for like 9 years, and we've seen the ups and downs, but it's constantly going up. He's got all of his skills and it's sustainable and it's just positive. And so that's what I'm encouraging, is just good holistic training. And another move that people want to get is their squat. They want to be able to squat, and the big mistake that people make is they think that it's about the leg strength. They think it's about loading up a bar with a bunch of weight, whenever that couldn't be further from the truth. We want to be able to squat. We want to be able to go to all angles with that squat. We want to be comfortable in all of these positions, okay? It shouldn't matter, again, the amount of weight. If you like lifting weights, so be it, go ahead. I've lifted weights in the past. It's really about flexibility and strength simultaneously. And then where people end up getting injured is they add speed whenever their body isn't prepared for it. And so those accelerated forces cause the impacts on the body that create the injuries. But whenever you have the flexibility and the strength combined, then you add speed, layer that on top of that. That's where you get power. And then all of that comes together to skills, okay? So for example, like just being able to do a back flip, and squat, and use your legs as they should be. And for the heavy lifters, the people that are doing heavy weights, that back flip was just 2, maybe even 3 times body weight of force on impact, on the landing, coming all the way around, bang. We're dealing with forces. It's a completely different ball game from weights, and we want to train, again, holistically. We want to think about that flexibility and strength combined, and then start adding the speed. And then, like I said at the beginning of the video, once you do that, once you get these moves where you're pushing, you're pulling, your legs are working as they should, that is all coming together through core strength and total body athleticism. It's gonna change your life, and it'll change it for the better. Subscribe, but it's also free to opt in. You'll be able to connect with me and my team. There's free trainings that we'll send you through email. There's a bunch of very in-depth student stories as well that break down how they achieve it. I talked about Benny. Benny is coming back from knee surgeries. He just got his back flip on the floor again. He sent me a text about that. Super excited about that. But again, it's just like training to the skills and then keeping that sustainably, okay? So you'll be able to see the student stories. They'll break down and tell you like what was working for them, what wasn't, but you'll be able to opt in for free, get all kinds of really cool stuff. So I'll see you in the next video and in training soon.